What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Pillow Talk. As always, my name is Shane Wilson, and I am your host. Here with me today, I have a very special guest, Mr. Austin Bullock. Austin, say what's up to the people.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it going?
So before I tell you why Austin is here, let me give you some context on how he and I know each other. We know each other back from our time at OU. We were in Professor Cortez's Spanish class together. This was 2019, so we were allowed to sit next to each other, didn't have to wear masks or anything. So right before the world ended, we were in Spanish class together. We did a couple projects together. So yeah, and then Austin, he's been doing his thing ever since working his job and he's grinding. I remember back in the day he was on drumline at OU. I know he's still drumming, still passionate about his music, and he's recently started making some moves in the acting world. And so the reason I'm interviewing Austin today is because if you're in Oklahoma and you know this movie, you know the movie I'm about to talk about. Twisters is it's taken Oklahoma, excuse the pun, by storm right now. It's huge. I just read an article the other day that of all the theaters that Twisters was shown in, the highest grossing theater was the Warren in Moore.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
saw
that's
that.
that's
Yeah,
pretty funny.
that's
Um,
awesome.
but I know I Googled Austin prior to this, even though I already know him. I Googled him just to see, and I saw your other work prior to Twisters. Please correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm missing
Okay.
anything. I saw you did an anti-tobacco commercial,
I did.
and
I
then
did.
and then I
Yeah.
saw that you had a background role in Tulsa King. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
Am I missing
Correct.
anything?
No, you got your research down, man.
So the
That's
third
good.
role is already a speaking role. That to
Already a
me,
speaking part.
that seems pretty impressive. I'm a big movie guy, so I was looking on the app Letterboxd at Twisters. I'm scrolling through the cast, and I see right there Austin Bullock, and I see a picture, and I'm like, hold up! So my wife's sitting next to me. I'm like, I know this guy, and so I get on Facebook. I shoot him a message, and he's like, yes, that's me. And then so I go with my father-in-law to see this movie. I can't give this movie enough praise. It is a fantastic film. It's easily one of the two best movies I've seen this year. And I'm not just saying this because Austin is here. It might genuinely be number one. I convinced my wife I'm gonna go see it again with her just because it's a fun movie, especially for an Oklahoman. It's the whole movie is filmed here, takes place here. It's just awesome. And so I just have a few questions for Austin just
Yeah.
about this filmmaking process. Because me personally, I love movies, but I haven't talked to anyone that's been in a blockbuster movie like this. And so, like, I'm just curious for you, what was your process like? I guess to start with, how did you end up being a part of this movie? Did you
Mhm.
have to audition? If so, what was the audition process like?
Yeah, so okay, this is actually really interesting. This is the first time I've like really talked about it from like point A to point Z. So the audition process for me was Freihofer casting. I see like a thing and it's like untitled film like shooting. It's like submit your so for people who don't know, like actors who can submit for open casting calls where it's like they just kind of send out like an email and you can kind of just send your resume, your headshots and stuff, and then you potentially can audition. Or there's like, they reach out to your agent directly. We want this person audition.
Okay.
So this one was open,
Okay.
no agent, no anything. So I had headshots kind of because
Okay.
like my friend Gage Cornell actually took some like pictures on his nice camera of me, and they're not like real professional, like lighting good and everything. Like it almost looks like an iPhone camera, but they're decent. We made it through. So as you
Hey,
said
it seemed
before,
to have worked.
dude, I can't complain. Like I said, no agent, no anything. So if there's any moral of it, it's follow your dreams. So
Yeah.
uh, I take this picture, this headshot that I have at the time, which I know I'm like, I need to spend money and actually get good headshots someday. But for now, I don't have time. I'm just gonna
Got to
submit
do what
it,
you got to do, right?
do
Work
what
with
I
what you
gotta
got.
do, work with what I got. The resume is super small. Like it still had like my high school musical that I was in, and it had the anti-tobacco commercial, which I had to buy cigarettes for that audition, but that's a later story. Yeah, bro. And it had the background thing from Tulsa King. So I'm just like, yo, if I could get an audition, this would be cool. So I submit it, I get it back. So then this is just to submit to get an audition.
Right. Okay.
So from there, like I get another email back, I think like that night. And I was like kind of excited because you're like, let me tone it down because like, obviously the majority of things you audition for, you're not gonna land. So I'm like, I'm gonna just, blessing to get the audition. We'll see what happens. So I think there were two roles. One of them was like for Storm Shield person number three or something like that,
Okay.
which in the movie, that's the group that's in David Corn Sweats or Hobby's
Yes.
characters.
Okay.
So they
Yes.
changed the name of it. It wasn't
Yes.
Storm Shield anymore. It was something else. But and so there's that one, which that's what I wanted. I'm like, oh, I want that one. And then they submit, they're also like, we'd also like you to send in a self-tape for Man in Office. And I'm
Okay.
like, okay, Man in Office, hey Kate, there's a guy here to see you or something. It's just one line. I'm
Yeah.
like, we'll see, we'll see. So recording these auditions with my girlfriend, and as we're recording like the self tapes, it's kind of interesting. Like, after COVID, basically the majority of auditions in Hollywood or the movie industry are like via self tape. So you're
Gotcha. Okay.
recording it yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people use their phones, they always tell you like horizontal, not
Okay.
vertical, TikTok. And so like we're recording for this first character, which is like Storm Shield person. And there's like 4 lines. I'm like, yo, this is the one. Like this is the one I want.
Right. Yeah.
And my girlfriend is like cracking me up the whole time because one of the lines was like, and it was in the movie. It's the one where the guy's like, "Blow me, Boone," or something like that. In the first, when they're first pulling up with
Yeah.
Lynn Powell's character
I know
Tyler's.
exactly. I know
You
exactly.
know, you know exactly what line. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason,
I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay.
you know which one. Yeah. So
Yep.
like, because in the theater, like hearing it when you've already like read it before is I don't know why it's just kind of surreal. Like it's kind of
No,
funny.
I'm sure.
And so my girlfriend, as we're doing this tape, like it's not a long scene. Like it's very short. But she just keeps changing the voices the way she did it,
Uh,
and it was making me laugh. Like she's like, "Blow me, Boone," and I was
yeah.
like, "Okay, like I can't do this serious if
Yeah.
you're doing."
Yeah.
So we get some serious takes. I'm happy with it. I'm like, that was serious, and I'm about to be like, I told Taylor, my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm not even gonna submit for the Man in Office one, like, and she was like, no, like you should do that. If
Yeah.
they're telling you to do that, you should. Like even if it's one line. I'm like, okay. So it's like 11 p.m. I think it's due. I think I sent it in a day early, and
Okay.
usually like the goal as an actor is if you could send it in early, you do it.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like 11 p.m. I'm kind of ready to go to bed. I'm gonna be real. So I grab like the one dress shirt I own, and I put it on, and I just say, "Hey, Kate, there's a guy here to see you." And then we press, cut,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I start overthinking it. What if I say it this way? What if I say it this way? And a little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
more, So I do like literally one more try. And then Taylor's like, I actually kind of like that one. Like I was like, all
Yeah.
right, this one line. I
You
don't
got
know.
the girlfriend's approval, right? That's all you need.
That's all you need. Like
That's all you
if
need.
you have the
Yep.
girlfriends know best, bro. And you would know too. Like eventually, like I want to be in your position where it's like
Happy
wives know
wife,
best.
happy life,
Happy
bro. That
wife,
saying is
happy
so
life.
true.
So I'm glad that still applies to my situation too. Then
Yeah.
so that's just learning.
And
So
guess who was right? Your
yes,
girlfriend.
yes,
She
they're
was right.
usually right, but we
Yep.
can't say that. We can't always give them
Hopefully
that.
she doesn't watch this, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a journey, dude. It's a journey. You can't just
Uh,
give it to them. So I send it in like that night with my like iMovie editor, which I'm sure everybody uses.
that's why
And
that's what I use for these videos.
good. Yeah, that's thank you. We don't need to get Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay,
I
you
can't
don't need.
afford to get Adobe Premiere Pro.
I can't either. And in college, like it was nice because they had it like in the library.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to, you could
Yeah.
just do it for free. So I send it in, and man, I want to say like I sent that in March sometime. Maybe I'm wrong on that, dude. I don't hear back for like I think over 3 weeks. And at that point, I'm like, and usually with auditions, you don't hear back.
Right.
So you move on. You
Right. You're
don't
not
think
even,
about
it's
it.
off your radar.
Off your radar, out of sight, out of
Okay.
mind. You don't have to be too attached.
Right.
So I'm like in crunch, and I'm like working out, doing my thing, and I get a call from Chris Fryoffer. And like the only, and if people don't know who Chris Fryoffer is, he's like the biggest casting director in the state of Oklahoma. Like that's his, bread and butter. And so fortunately, I'd actually taken some classes with him at OU
Okay.
as a non-major. So I had taken like a class with him before, that was kind of like a good, just seeing how the industry worked,
Right.
like doing background on Tulsa King, seeing, how professionals do it.
Right.
So in my head, I'm not thinking like this is about that. I'm just like, oh, maybe he's calling about like a open casting call.
Hmm.
So I pick up the phone and I'm like, just squatted or whatever. And he's like, hey man, how you doing? And as soon as he talked to me, I'm like, his tone was just like super happy. I'm like,
Yeah.
doing pretty good, what's going on? And he's just like, I hear you're at the gym or something. I'm like, hey, I'm feeling kind of judged, like I'm feeling kind of judged right now, not gonna lie. It was a Friday night. I think it was a Friday night. I think
Okay.
that's why he was like, you're at the gym.
He's like, you're at the gym. You're not
You're
out
at the
at the
gym. You're
club or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, you're not
I don't
clubbing.
know.
Like,
What
what
do
are you
people do on
doing?
Friday nights?
That's a good question. I still don't know. I'm
Me neither.
25 and I still don't know. Uh, and so like he was just like, well, hey man, I'm just gonna let you know, the director liked your tape a lot, and congratulations, you're gonna be in Twisters. And so like there's a couple things in my mind at this
Yeah.
point. I'm like, okay, number one, it was Untitled Film Project. I assumed it was Twisters. I didn't know that for sure.
Right. Okay.
Did not know. So I'm
Right.
like, I wanted it to be. I'm like, it starts around the same time, like it's probably the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
As soon as he says it, in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. And I'm like, and I was like, and Chris, this is so special because like you were the one who like, got us into acting at
Yeah. Yeah.
OU, the non-majors and stuff. And he was like, well, I hate to burst your bubble, but you don't have an agent, man. So I mean, someone had to call you. Like he's just like, it's nothing special, bro. Like I didn't have a representative to call. And
Yeah.
so that was amazing. And yeah, man, so that's kind of how I landed it.
Okay.
And from there, I think I learned about that like 5 weeks, maybe 4.5 weeks after the audition.
Okay.
And in like 2 weeks from then, I was shooting. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Wow. That's fast.
Yeah,
That's a fast turnaround. Okay.
it
And
is.
so you got the role, man in office. I believe your character's name is Manny, though, correct?
Yes,
Is actually the
yes,
credit is Manny. So they gave you a name, first of all. That's a step up, right? Yeah.
yes. Step up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And your scene is towards the beginning of the movie. I'm obviously you know this. We're telling the people in case they haven't
yeah,
seen.
yeah. Of course, of
If you
course.
haven't seen Twisters, go see it. And if you have seen it, go see it again and look out for Austin. But anyways, your scene is at the beginning of the movie in the office across from Daisy Edgar Jones' character, the protagonist
Mhm.
of Kate. So how long were you on set for? How many days was it? Just single day, a week? How long? Again, I have no idea how this thing works, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is awesome that you're like doing this too, because I love educating, people who
Yeah,
want to
dude,
know.
share as much or as little as you
Oh
want. This
yeah.
is this is your platform, dude. Share
Okay.
whatever you want.
Yeah, let's get into it. So I'm a movie fan, like crazy
Yeah,
fan, TV fan too. So
yeah,
like it was really confusing when you first get into like non-major acting class and you realize that like the industry is very cool. Like the magic is
yeah.
there. Sometimes you realize like, oh, that's actually not as like hard as I thought it would be. So
Okay,
like for that scene in particular, that's called a day player scene or day player role.
okay,
And so that refers to an actor that's usually going to be there for like a day.
okay.
Yeah, and
Yep,
and the
makes
scene
sense.
can be significant. I mean,
Right.
it doesn't. Sometimes people look at day players and are like, "Oh, like that's not even that. You weren't even really on set. You didn't even really do this." It's like some of your favorite scenes from movies are from day players. If you
Yeah,
really look at it, it's like,
yeah.
"Oh, that one guy who yelled at Spider-Man in Spider-Man: Homecoming who's like, 'Do a flip.'"
Yes.
Day player. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he's
Okay.
probably there one day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that guy's gone on to do like
He
a
was in
bunch
he
of
was in like the
stuff.
Doctor Strange. I know exactly the actor you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
The Doctor Strange movie. He was in the TV show You on Netflix.
Yes, dude.
I know.
And was he in Fallout too? I don't know if
I
you've seen
believe so.
Fallout.
I believe so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Day player
Yes.
roles can
Yeah.
range and it can really like if you make your moment count, per se, like depending
Yeah.
on the script and stuff,
Yeah.
like it could really be cool and it can
Yeah.
really impact people. So my role was like day player role. And leading up to it, man, like I didn't know if I was gonna be able to do it, truthfully, because that was the first time I ever had like a really, really bad sinus infection, I guess.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah.
That's bad
Yeah.
timing.
Yeah. That week was, so I think the day we shot, I want to say it was a Friday. It
Okay.
was a Friday.
Okay.
On like Tuesday or Monday, I'm at the gym and I don't know what it is. I just feel
If you guys
extremely
can't tell right
tired.
there, looking at those arms, Austin goes to the gym a lot.
Oh, stop, stop. I'm gonna hide it now. I'm gonna hide out of frame now and circle. Yeah, so like at the gym, I'm like super tired. I've
Okay.
gotten like 9 hours of sleep the past couple because I'm trying to like get my sleep schedule back, before this. Because usually the call times are very early. That's when you have
Mhm.
to show up to set. So I'm like really tired, to the point where like I feel like I'm gonna pass out, but I'm just not gonna allow myself to pass out. So I go to the doctor. They're like, "You have a sinus infection." So I start, loading up on caffeine, doing all the things. It's not really helping.
Yeah.
So I think when I went to the clinic the next time, I was like, "Hey, I have a wardrobe fitting on Wednesday. I have a scene on Friday. If y'all can do a steroid shot, like whatever, to just get me zooted, I don't
And then
care.
if I crash the next
If
day,
I crash,
okay.
I don't care because it felt the what do you call it, where your equilibrium is off. Like I was
Vertigo?
very dizzy. Yes, dude, I had vertigo. So it was horrible. And so like literally I'm standing still and it just feels like that. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna shoot on a movie set where you have nerves, you're
Yeah.
tired, there's all these things. So I it gets to the day of, I make it through the wardrobe fitting thing, and that
Yeah.
was fine. And the people were great. And the day of, like, if you ever want to see me be punctual, bro, like, get me the day of like shooting day. Cause like
Yeah.
I think I should usually show up like 45 minutes early.
Yeah.
So the call time I think was like 7. I showed up at like 6:15.
Okay.
No. And usually when you're there, this is the thing a lot of people don't know, even for day players, it's like you
Yeah.
show up, you meet your second AD, which
Okay.
is like the second assistant
Right. Right.
director. And they get you food, bro. The food was amazing. Universal is amazing.
Yeah.
Like Paramount was amazing on Tulsa King as well.
Yeah.
Just what you do is you get the breakfast. It's hard to eat, so
Oh,
you just
dude,
gotta pack it up.
I don't think I'd be
Yeah,
able to. I'm
no,
getting
those
nervous
legs are
just
not staying
to
down.
talk about it.
Yes, like you
It's like genuinely.
and what's weird is like when you tell them no, or you're like, oh, I'm not really hungry. They're kind of like, no, like take this. And I wonder if it's because they're worried that like you're gonna say they didn't feed me or whatever. So
Dude,
they're just like, no, get your food.
that's so it's all it's like this is a stupid example. Wedding day. This and my wife used to be wedding planner, so
Oh,
I know this. And then my own wedding. Nobody wants to eat. The groom, the bride, nobody wants to eat.
okay.
They're like, you need to eat. You need to, or you're gonna pass out
Yeah,
because you're gonna be nervous. And you know
I
what?
didn't think about
I didn't
that.
pass out, but that's because I had my chicken sandwich before I went out
So
there.
you had it
I didn't
before.
eat that chicken sandwich. Yeah, dude. I bet that's the same. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny right now. Genuinely, like my palms are getting sweaty listening to
Mm-hmm.
about this. I'm like, I would be crapping bricks. Like, I would be so
Yes.
nervous.
It's funny you say that, man, because like I think I never thought of it that way,
Yeah.
but I guarantee the nerves are gonna be equally as bad for me. Like when I get married, it's probably the exact same thing. And you got to stand in front of all the
It's just
people,
like
and you
all eyes on
gotta
you.
don't pass out, don't lock your knees, as they
Yeah.
tell you in marching band and stuff. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's literally that same
Yeah.
thing. You just want to hold everything down.
Yeah.
What's really cool is like, when you see like a trailer
Hmm.
with like your character's name on it, which my at the moment it was Man in Office and stuff, and
Right.
and so I'm like fighting the sinus infection. I kind of am like overwhelmed because it's like very bright in the studio and like
Was it at Prairie Surf? Is that where you guys?
prairie surf,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So that's the other cool thing. So like you get your full sides is what they call them, but like it's really the script. You never get the full script
Right.
unless you're
Right. It's just
like
what you need.
just what you need. If your
Unless you're Daisy
name's,
Edgar Jones or
I was
Glenn,
gonna say
not
that.
getting the
If you're
full
Daisy
script.
Edgar Jones, Anthony
It's
Ramos,
yeah.
Glenn Powell,
Yeah.
you're
Yep.
getting your full. So props to them. They get the full thing. And when you get yours too, the way that they know who leaks like scripts and stuff is they have your name watermarked on every page. So if you leak something, it's like Austin Bullock leaked this, you know. So you just keep that to
Okay.
yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we're just kind of showing people how the industry works and
Yeah.
everything. And so you get your sides usually like a couple days before. I think I got my side like the day before,
Okay.
and just leading up to that day, what was insane, bro, was like the call time was really early. And if you look up that day, I want to say it was either May 10th or May 12th. I
I
think
was
it
gonna
was.
ask you about this because I saw the
Yeah, you
about
saw it. You saw the
your
article.
best friend
So
about this, so I'm glad you
yeah,
about it.
I'll let you ask so you can, because I want the people to
No,
know
go
you
ahead.
did
Please
research.
tell this. Tell the story how you were gonna tell it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Thursday night slash like Friday morning, there's a tornado warning, and it's like
That is
you
so
already can't
Oklahoma.
sleep. It's
That
so
is
Oklahoma, and we're filming the movie Twisters, and there's
yes.
people from New York and the UK
Yeah, I
and
was gonna
like
ask. I would have been
LA.
freaked out, dude.
Dog, I
Thinking this
was
movie about
asking the
tornadoes
wardrobe
killing
people.
people, and then there's a tornado. They're probably freaked out. You, on the other hand, you're like, oh, it's
Yes,
Friday.
I'm like annoyed because I'm like, I gotta like, I mean, I'm not just gonna fall asleep during like a tornado warning, but
Right.
yeah, I think if you look it up, I want to say it was like the warning lifted at like 3 or 3:30 or
Okay.
something. I wouldn't have been able to sleep anyway. It wouldn't have mattered. But now I really can't sleep. So
Yeah.
I think I got like 3 hours of sleep. So you know, you
Running
show
on fumes. Oh my
running on
goodness.
fumes, bro, running on prayer, and that's pretty much it.
Yep. Yep.
That's pretty much it. And so the first thing you do is you go to your trailer, you get your food and stuff, and then from there you go to hair and makeup. And again, it's so weird, man, because like when you're not, I'm not like theater type kid, even though
Right.
I've done musical theater in the past.
You were band guy. You were the drum. You were on the drum line.
Yeah,
Right?
drumline,
Yeah.
which is kind of, theatrical in a
It's
way, a
adjacent.
little
Yeah,
bit.
for
It's
sure.
adjacent.
Sure.
But we always would say, we're not in the band, we're in the drum line, because you try
Yeah.
to
Okay.
distinguish.
Okay.
It's not
My bad.
fair, but
You were
that's
the
just
drum
how
line
it is.
kid.
Drum line.
That's all. That's my bad. That's my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. You're fine. See, I forgive you. It's Shane. We gotta forgive Shane. But nah, man, it's weird because like they make you, everything around you is telling you like, yo, you're the star. Like you've got your trailer, you've got this
Yeah.
thing, you got this thing, and in your head you have to get out of the mind of like I have one line or whatever. And so
Dude, who
as
cares? You're in that movie
you're in the movie.
forever.
You're in the movie, and
Yes.
and fortunately, Chris Fryall, for the way that he had trained us at the time, my philosophy or like my ideology going into it is like when you only have this little bit as far as like lines, like that's not your character. The line isn't the character.
Right.
You have to create the backstory for your
Hmm.
character. So like I'm like creating this backstory for my character, not overthinking it, but just being like this guy has a family.
Yeah.
This guy like is doing this job because he wants to feed his family. He kind of enjoys his job, but he's a little bit like, yo, I can't lose this job because if I mess up, who's going to provide for my family? So like
Okay.
that, just
Yeah.
just that little bit of motivation
Yeah.
can make lines, the way you say them can make them like carry a little bit more to
Yeah.
where the audience can see it. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're in hair and makeup. They're kind of treating you like you've been acting forever, and it's like my first thing, and I'm almost
Mhm.
like afraid to say that. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I should say that or
Like
not.
I'm new here. They'll all like shun
You're
you or something.
good. Yeah, you're bro. That's the social anxiety of it is like what I want to talk about because like yeah, it's like that was a fear. It's like they're gonna look at me different if I say it's your first name. So
Dude, I bet.
yeah, yeah. So I say all that to say, eventually I kind of meet my co-stars and like for whatever reason, when you have a sinus infection and you're mixed up with like antibiotics and steroids, it just feels like the world is like this. I don't know
Yeah.
why. You
Yeah.
could be like this, but it just feels like the world's like this. So,
Yeah.
and you think that you're blinking too much. It's so weird. It's so weird.
You
And
just get
and
so
so,
self-conscious about it.
dog, you're like, I thought I was gonna look at the movie, like
And
even
you're just gonna
now.
be like,
I thought that's what it
Yeah.
was gonna be. I was
Oh,
like, oh, they're gonna cut it.
yeah.
So I met the co-stars, Chris Zercher, Monani Gupta, Laura Poe. They are awesome
Okay.
in the scene. Unfortunately, like Monani's scene got cut, and
Okay.
like she's an amazing actress. Like she did a great job. Like that just kind of happens with films, and it's one
Right.
of those things of
Right.
like it's tough getting your hopes up because you just never know what can happen.
Yeah.
Um, and so we meet the director, like we're on our way, they shuttle us to set, and we're in downtown Oklahoma City, and they kind of made it look New Yorkish on the outside. I think they filmed some stuff there too. And we're in this building, and dude, what was the coolest part, Shane, I'm telling you, and I really wish, like, I would say if anyone is passionate about filmmaking and you don't know if you want to do acting,
Yeah.
if you see background roles available, background or what they call like extras in
Mhm.
movies,
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's so fun. Being an extra is so fun. And like, um, well, the coolest part about that scene was like you show up and they kind of have like this like fog machine type thing going to kind of get that like feel of it. If you really
Okay.
watch the movie, it feels
Yeah.
super hazy.
Yeah. I mean, feel like New York. Yeah.
Feels like New York.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, and the sickest part is, dude, all the extras, you would have swore they worked in an office in meteorology. Like it was wild. Like I walked in and I'm like, oh, I've always known these people. Like you feel like the
Yeah.
character. You're
That's
dressed
cool.
in the stuff. It's
That's cool.
awesome. It is so cool. And so, that's the first thing we see. We're kind of looking around. And then another thing that they don't teach you about Hollywood and movies is it's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Okay.
So, you get there, you get on set, you're excited to film. Let's go, let's go. All right, we're gonna see y'all in like a little bit,
Yeah.
you know. So I think you go to Crafty, you get some snacks and stuff. You're kind of talking to the other actors. We're talking about life. We're talking about our future aspirations. We're
Yeah.
talking about the world,
Yeah.
everything. And then you're just waiting and waiting, waiting for them to finish filming different shots, different scenes and stuff.
Okay.
And so by the time they finally call us in to shoot, we meet Isaac, who, it's Lee Isaac Chung
Mhm.
is the director,
Yes, sir.
and he allowed us to call him Isaac, and he was just saying like, he's like, hey, your guys' self tapes were really, really, really good, and he was like, especially yours, and he pointed at me, and I was like,
That's
never
cool.
mind. I said one sentence,
Cool.
and the second thing he says right after that is he's like, your name is Manny. Your character has a name. His name is Manny. And from here, what we're gonna do is I want you to right before or right after Chris's line, I want you to say, I'll go get Deborah. Then I want you to come back around the camera. You're gonna walk by Laura's character, who's or Laura, who's Deborah in the
Okay.
movie, the one who talks to Kate, her
Yep. Okay.
boss.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And so like, you say the line, walk across the camera, walk with Laura, and then from there, kind of walk back with her. There's this interaction with Monani and Daisy Edgar Jones. And then I walk up and then I say the line, Kate, there's a guy here to meet you. And then he added a couple words. He's like, he's in the conference room. I was like, hey, add some
Yeah.
words.
That's extra. Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what's dope is like when you film stuff, and this is kind of nerve wracking too for anyone who like acts. For me, the most nervous part of it is the rehearsal because you
Okay.
just don't know how it's gonna be.
Right.
You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like we could all fall on our face, we could all, go up on a line, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
doing the rehearsal, and at the end, Isaac stops it and he's like, hey, at the end, I want Montague's character to ask you, is he cute? In reference to Javi, who's Anthony Ramos's character. And then you say, super cute. And I was like, okay, yeah,
I'm
let's have
down.
some
Yeah.
fun. Let's have some fun with it. So we do the rehearsal, and then like literally after the second rehearsal, he's like, all right, we got it. Like, let's go. So, they say the words, rolling, action, do everything,
Yeah.
everything went smooth, bro. And at the end, like I said, super cute, but I said it like that, like super cute. I don't know if that was the antibiotics talking, I don't know. And so then he's like, that was really good, everybody. Hey, Austin, you seem like a very serious person. which at the time, anyone who knows me,
That's like
I
just
think
not the
would be
case.
so funny. Yeah, like I'm like, I asked my girlfriend that day, I'm like, am I a serious person? Like, am I a serious person, Taylor? And so what was cool was like, he was like, I want you to lean into that. He's like, I want you to say it like super just stone face serious. And so we do it like again,
Yeah.
and I say super cute, like that. And then I just walk back, they say cut, and everyone's crying, laughing. And I'm just like, I guess that was good.
Yeah,
Like, I guess it was
I guess
good,
that's
you
what I was
know?
supposed to.
And we were hoping it was gonna be in the movie, and and Isaac was like, I really think that's gonna be in. Like, and in my head, I'm gonna like, dude, if it's in, it's in. The fact that he even gave me an opportunity to say
Yeah.
more lines,
Yeah.
trusting me to do things, giving your character like meaning and value and
Yeah.
explaining that, like the amount of attention to detail that he put into my small character in a small scene made me say like this dude is going to make a great movie and it's going to be awesome. And so
You were right.
obviously, yes, yes, that scene got cut, which is okay because the overall movie is awesome.
It's fantastic.
Glenn Powell is awesome. Daisy Edgar Jones is awesome.
I'm sure
And
social media, seeing how much everybody is just raving about this movie, obviously specifically Glenn Powell, because
yeah,
Glenn
oh
Powell.
my gosh.
But is it kind of surreal seeing that and being like, hold up, I'm in that movie?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And what was weird, dude, what's weird about being an actor is like, this was filmed over a year ago.
Okay. Yeah.
And one thing I forgot to mention too is like the writing strike had started earlier that week. There's
Oh,
an impending acting strike. Like
right.
it hasn't happened yet. So the way it kind of works with people who don't know is like for for me to say a line in a movie, like let's say we're filming in LA, I would have to either, sorry, I don't want to watch this. Me getting to say a line gets me my SAG eligibility.
Okay.
Once I'm a member of SAG,
Okay.
I can only do SAG movies or SAG projects, commercials, whatever. It has to be
Okay. I
like
didn't know
SAG.
that.
Yeah, yeah. But you have to earn your SAG eligibility by either
Right.
doing, multiple background roles or by saying a line in a principal role is what they call it. And so
Okay.
like it was a big deal because I got my SAG eligibility in a movie that's so like, dear and close to like
Mm,
my heart, to Oklahomans' hearts.
yeah.
And I felt like it was just so special because like,
Hmm.
yeah, you see your name and you see you scroll up and you see like Anthony Ramos, you see Daisy Edgar Jones, you see Glenn Powell, you see Brandon Perea, who I thought was amazing in the movie. He's absolutely amazing. Um, and it's very cool. But I think the dopest part of the whole thing, man, realistically, is like getting to be treated as a professional,
Hmm.
having a director who cares about the little people.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's
That's
awesome.
awesome. Dude, I'll tell you something kind of funny. When I was explaining this situation of me asking you like for the interview and everything with I was explaining it to my wife. And the first thing she says is, "Oh, he's in Twisters." And she says this is a joke. She goes, "You should ask him if Glenn Powell's a good kisser."
Oh,
I was like, he probably doesn't know.
I can assume.
It
I
just
saw the deleted scene with him and Daisy. I can
yes.
assume he is. I think
But
he
yeah,
is.
she said that. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, could you and then I see the movie. Of course, you're not in the scene with Glenn Powell, but I still had to mention it because
Yeah,
it just was too
Glenn
funny
Powell,
not to.
bro.
Um, that's awesome. So when did you first see the movie? Like how like did you go see it in theaters like with your girlfriend, your family? I'm just curious.
Mhm.
Since you were in it, it's like me personally, I would have made a big deal about it. I would have been like, everybody
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
this movie with me. You're buying your own ticket though, but
Minor, I can't afford the
I would
paycheck wasn't that big, but yeah.
so what did you do to kind of celebrate?
Yeah, so my girlfriend was kind of like upset a little bit because she was like, you should have done more. So I have like acting classes, I've been going to on Saturdays for the past like 5 months. I've been
Okay.
doing acting classes this entire time since Twisters had come out.
Okay.
So I kind of had like a scene that I didn't want to get distracted from the practice of it, or like,
Gotcha.
getting your
Yep.
shots up, as they
Yep.
say. So
Yep.
like, so I was like, you know what? I want to go after my class, so I'm not like distracted by, the people saying, "Oh, awesome," or "Congrat." Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to just kind of hone it in, post about it, kind of back away,
Yep.
and just kind of keep focusing on like getting better and better. So we
Yeah.
went Saturday night, Tinseltown. We went to
I love
the
Tinseltown. That's my preferred
Tinseltown
theater as
is
well.
sick, bro. See, bro, the popcorn there,
And they
immaculate.
the I don't it's been a few years, but since they remodeled it and they have the nice chair,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think people sleep on Tinseltown. Shit, that's one of
You
the
know,
cheapest tickets.
ball.
I,
Cheaper tickets, and
I
it's
mess with
like
Tinseltown heavy.
quality. Yeah, bro. That's my spot. Like Harkins is, they're cool, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and we saw. Did you see a D box? We saw a D box.
No, so we saw the it was like SDX. So it's the sound and everything, like the surround sound. It's pretty much like the Dolby, just
Oh, okay, okay.
just don't call it that because it's a different theater. But
Mhm.
so it's like the crisp screen and surround sound. So it was crazy. I've seen the people making jokes about seeing it in like the 4D, like shaking. I'm like,
Yeah,
I would hurl.
yeah. Dude, I think you would like it a lot. I'm not a roller coaster guy, so
Yeah.
I'm a very like a fake roller coaster for me is like I'll go to I'll watch what was the one we watched? We watched Avatar 2,
Okay.
Way of Water. We watched
Yeah.
that D-Box.
Oh, that
Awesome.
movie is.
Top Gun D-Box. Awesome. Tom Cruise
Uh,
taking off like awesome. And so we watched Twisters in D-Box, and yeah, dude, it was pretty cool.
Speaking of
I was
Top
definitely
Gun, your co-star Glenn Powell
down.
just said that he's officially in Top Gun 3.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Your
Yeah,
co
yeah.
I wonder, dude, you know what? This just hit me. I
Okay.
wonder how many degrees you are to Kevin Bacon now. Because you know the
Huh.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, you know that rule that they
Yeah.
I wonder what how many degrees you are to Kevin Bacon. That's kind of cool.
Huh.
You're on there somewhere.
Okay. I think we can figure this out.
I
I
know
think both of us are big movie fans.
I know. I'm thinking here. I'm trying to think. To me, Glenn Powell would be the obvious one, but I don't know what he would have
Yeah.
been in.
With Kevin Bacon?
Let's see.
I'm trying to think of Kevin Bacon's recent stuff.
I know I'm kind of having a hard time thinking of anything like
And he's
most.
amazing. I think he's done some stuff on streaming.
Hmm.
Wait, did he do that was he in Leave the World Behind on Netflix, or am I wrong?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
He was. He was.
Okay.
Dude, we can
I'm
do this. We can do
Yeah, we
this.
could do it. We could do it. We could do it.
Okay.
Um
Let's think here.
we're gonna do this. And it's gonna be amazing because it's gonna be live.
So here's this is this it, I've figured out at least one way to get to connect it, but there's got to be a closer one. Is this
Okay.
man right here? You can see that right there, Superman himself.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. David Cornsweet. What is he in with David
He-
Cornsweet?
no, that movie is directed by James Gunn. Sean Gunn is also appearing in it. Kevin Bacon was in the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, directed by James Gunn.
Bro, that's
So you're at least, I think that would be three degrees away from
yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
Congrats to you, bro. That was no, that was good. That was well done.
I don't know
'Cause
why the Kevin Bacon movie I thought of was the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, but I'm gonna go.
it works though. Yeah, that totally works. Like I don't know why I thought you were gonna go like X-Men First Class and like go like
Yeah,
way
yeah,
back.
yeah. Okay.
But no,
There's got to be
that's
something
awesome.
there too.
3 degrees, bro. I'll take it.
That's
Hopefully
pretty
we get
sick.
closer. Yeah.
That's pretty sick. All right, awesome. I just have two more questions for you, and
Yeah.
these are questions that I ask everyone that comes on Pillow Talk, my show. So these are not related to twisters or movies or anything. These are just questions about you, and I ask them at the end of every episode, and they're pretty goofy. So you just gotta roll with me here. The
Okay.
first one, and this is for people to just know you better. If you were making the Austin Bullock Mount Rushmore of four famous people, what four people would be on that? So, like for me personally,
Okay.
John Cena is on mine.
It's awesome.
LeBron James is on mine. So
Awesome.
it's like just example that those are just some examples for you. So
Mhm.
not that. What four people would you put on your own personal Mount Rushmore? I know that question is just like out of left field.
Yeah.
You had no
No,
idea
I
what
love
to ask.
it.
So so take some time. I know it's kind of hard
Okay.
tough, but yeah, that's
Ooh.
the question I ask everyone that comes on the show. I think it helps people get maybe some of your interests or motivation or whatever that is. So
All right. Number one, I mean, no order, but the first person that comes to mind has to be Childish Gambino,
Oh,
Donald Glover.
love it.
I think he's an amazing everything. Whatever he does, he's
The
good
most
at.
talented people in the world.
Yeah.
That
And
dude
it's
excels at
unique.
everything.
Yeah, and it's all like so original.
Mhm.
It's just like seeing someone do that.
He also just
Awesome.
seems like a cool dude. Like I would
He
just want to hang out
does.
with him.
I do. If you
Yes.
want to hire me,
Yeah.
shameless plug. Yeah, I
Hey,
love
go
Childish
for it.
Gambino. Love him. I think number two, man, this is just fame, just anything fame related.
Anything. And even you
Okay.
can use fame loosely if you want. Like if it can be like athlete, it can be like, I don't know, historical figure. It can be whatever you want it to be. Like I asked my
Okay.
brother, and his was like a couple of authors I had never heard of because he was trying to be
Huh.
cool, and he was trying to be cool
Yeah.
or something. I don't know, but but
We all know you wanted
and
to
then
say
the
John
other two were
Cena.
Russell Westbrook and Adam Sandler. So I'm like, these are not
Oh
no, bro.
man. All right. Well, this is gonna sound kind of, non-authentic or
No,
inauthentic because you just said that, but I'm gonna put Russell Westbrook up there.
dude, that's
Russell Westbrook is my favorite athlete of
can't
all
go
time.
wrong. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, that dude, and since he was drafted, and people were like, "What's a shooting guard gonna do as point guard?"
Yep,
Like
yep.
I've been on the wagon, bro. Like I knew he was gonna be special, so he's up there. So we got Childish Gambino, we got Russell
Love that
Westbrook.
as an Oklahoman. Love it.
Love it, can't go wrong with that.
Love it.
I think since you said historical figures, I will. I mean, just because I feel like it's important. Nelson Mandela.
Okay.
I think
I respect
he
that.
just, yeah, he just personifies like what it is to be a leader.
Yeah.
And I think his life
Great
really
man.
would be
Obviously, great
useful.
man, great leader. Kind of like Childish Gambino. He was great at everything he did, just in
Yes.
a different aspect.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I wish people like look more into like what he did like in South Africa to get to that point, but
Mhm.
just knowing like everything that he did and
Yeah.
like the impact that he made on the world.
Yeah,
Nelson's
the impact as the president of South Africa, the impact he's had on the entire world is just that's
yeah,
crazy. Okay, I'm
it's
like I'm
amazing.
really digging this list so
You
far.
liking it so far? Okay, I'm glad. We're taking it serious. I'm like really thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah. All
Uh,
right, who's the fourth spot? Or I know not
fourth
in order.
spot.
Who's the final spot? Who's taking it?
Fourth and final spot. This is tough. Uh, I really, I'm gonna say honorable mention. He's not on here,
Okay.
but you're honorable mention. Jordan Peele is an honorable mention.
Oh, that dude, I love that. Especially as a film fan, you can't go.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Oh
that.
my gosh. And also, I'm including his comedy.
Key
That dude's
and Peele. I
hilarious,
feel like people forget
bro.
like Key and Peele was the stuff, bro. There's
Yes.
there are a few things that could make me laugh right now than if I just pulled up like Ultimate Key and Peele compilation on YouTube. Like
Yes,
every
bro.
their skits are still to this day, skits they produced 10, 15 years ago are still just going viral constantly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah. And I
legendary.
think they get funnier over time.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
because they're still relevant.
Yes.
I'm loving your picks.
Good. 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 I'm glad. I think last, I'm gonna go a little like cliche, but again, I just think they're awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that he is like the greatest artist
Yeah.
of our generation.
Okay.
So yeah, super inspiring. Love
Love,
him.
dude.
Yeah,
That's a solid four right there, and
I'll
honorable
take
mention.
it.
Of course, the honorable mention. That I like that list. I like that list. Now, this final question. This is a question I ask everyone. Purely hypothetical, of course. What is the biggest animal that you could beat in a fight, one on one, just bare hands? You get no weapon. You're fighting this animal to the death. What's the biggest animal you could beat in a
No
fight?
weapon?
No weapon. This is just hand to hand combat. Some people
Okay.
come on here and say, like, oh, I'm nothing, a bunny rabbit. And then some people will come on here delusional. Me, myself, I'm even a little delusional, but I'm not going to tell you what my answer is until after
You
you.
said a bear, didn't you, Shane?
No, I'm not stupid.
Okay. Okay.
Fair. And I'm like, there's no way. But mine, I'm thinking biggest. Give me a giraffe, bro. I could take down a giraffe
Really?
straight up.
Okay. I'm glad you think that. No, I'm just, I'm
My
just
father-in-law
kidding.
doesn't agree. My brother-in-law doesn't agree. My dad doesn't. Nobody agrees. But I have faith in myself. So,
I have faith in you too. I
and
really
this is
do.
never going to get tested. So,
It's never gonna get
right until
tested.
proven wrong.
Right. I've never personally seen an aggressive giraffe before, but I
Right.
think if there was an aggressive giraffe, you would beat it. I do. I'm glad you said that because I'm gonna go with something that people aren't gonna like, but it's okay. Because like all right, I'm gonna go with the dolphin.
A
Okay, and
dolphin.
the reason
Okay.
I'm going with the dolphin is I've just heard that like people like just in the ether, like on the internet, people are
Yeah.
like, people always think dolphins are so like nice and stuff. They're actually kind of aggressive, and I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, so if a dolphin really wants to square up, I think like especially on land
Yeah.
I'm winning.
It's
On
nothing
land I'm
you can
winning.
do on land. Try to bite you. Okay, just give up. Dude, I
That's
I like that answer. I like that answer.
a dolphin
This
can run
this
the
one
paint
always has me
anytime.
cackling, especially because uh, I I've only had a handful of women on here, like my wife, my sister-in-law, both my sister-in-laws, beautiful, and the girls are always like, "What? Like, what kind of question?" And guys are just like, "Oh, you know what? You know
Yeah, we know which
me
one.
how and why." And then they'll be like, "Well, like, but if I did get a weapon, it would be this," and it's like all this stuff. I'm like, "You were thinking about this, huh?" No, but
Shane's been
Austin,
beefing with giraffes for a minute.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Jeez. Austin, I appreciate your time, man. If there's anything else you want to say, anything you want to plug, please, please do it. I appreciate you being here so much. I appreciate you taking time out of your day, out of your evening to do this, especially with all the things you got going on. I appreciate that. So go ahead. If there's anything else you want to say, go for it.
Yeah, first of all, shout out to you for having me on. Like Shane's an amazing person.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
The fact that you're living the dream life, husband, father now, like congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's
It's the
goals,
best.
bro.
It's the best.
Seriously. Shout out to Professor Cortez for us being able
I
to be in
wonder
the
what he's
same
up to
class.
nowadays, man.
Dude, I do too. I really wish I
He
could.
was a
I
cool
wish
dude. He was a cool
I
dude.
know. I wish they didn't get rid of our OU emails because there were some professors I wanted to kind of,
Like reach back out,
stay
like
in.
link back up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, they've had an impact on us. I think the biggest shout out I could give, obviously, uh, to my girlfriend too for just Taylor Deneen, her artist name, for like motivating me and just pushing me to like go for my goals and not care. Also, look her up on The Voice. She was on
Okay.
The Voice a couple seasons ago,
Power
so
couple.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, dude, she carries the weight in that. She's amazing.
all
Um,
right. Come on.
yeah, and the last shout out I'll give, I know it's a lot, but
No, dude,
uh,
this is all you, man.
the Oklahoma Film Actor Studio in Oklahoma City, Kyler Kaufman, they like the people over there are amazing. If you're ever thinking about getting into acting and you want to take it serious, definitely like consider taking some classes. Oklahoma has some serious talent. You know what I mean? And so like uh I love going to class because you refine like what you're good at, but you learn how to get better at what you're weak at. And
Yeah,
so yeah, I love taking classes there. That's kind of the main spot I've been spending my time at lately. So
I
yeah.
love it. I love it, man. Well, again, Austin, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, people, if you haven't seen Twisters, if you're an Oklahoman and you haven't seen Twisters, what are you doing? But
Yeah, come on.
Twisters, if you've already seen it, go see it again. Keep an eye out for Austin's character. Maybe you saw the movie and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember that dude, because that's how I was. I was telling her, I was like, I know that guy, I know that guy. And I'll link down below my review of Twisters. If you couldn't tell by this, it's a very positive review, 10 out of 10, fantastic movie. And you know what? Thank you guys for watching. This has been Pillow Talk. Peace.
Peace.